Now Klarna, one of these big unicorns, many funding rounds, going international, multi-product, and amazing execution. Koen,
Thank you.
thank you so much for being here. We're going to do an interview also.
Perfect. Shall I sit here?
Oh, you have slides.
I know, no, interview. I have no slides.
So I got a little bit confused here with the page. Here we go. So there are quite a few payment providers, and interestingly, they all have their own story. And interestingly, they all execute very well. I remember in the early days when I was a banker at Lehman Brothers, and we added up all the projections of companies would have got to 300% market size. But payments seems to be this huge ocean of opportunities where there's just growth and growth and growth, and no one really is taking market share from each other. Can you explain, what Klarna's core business is?
So I think it's, in general, hard to label Klarna as a payments company. We are a bit different. We are not your typical PSP or acquirer. Like, our mission really is to, in essence, create great experiences for our consumers that free up meaningless time from managing the purchase or finances, and at the same point in time, deliver value to our merchants and partners. And that have manifested itself in a very broad product portfolio. We have payment methods that enable retailers to increase their average order value or acquire new customers by increasing conversion, to a very rich consumer app that enables customers to manage their purchases, track returns, get their money back instantly if they want to return something. So we have a very broad product portfolio.
So it sounds more like a tech enabler than a payment processor.
We are very much more of a tech enabler, but also we would call ourselves experience builders. And of course, we process a lot of money. Like last year, we processed nearly $30 billion. But
$30 billion GMV.
Yes, but that is simply for us a means to actually solve a problem and help consumers to manage their purchases and finances. So for us, being in the money flow is a necessity. We don't mind doing it, but it's all about the experience that we create for customers and merchants.
And you started very much in the financed e-commerce transaction.
Correct.
In the old days. How big is that part of your business still?
Because I would still say that e-commerce is still, in today's world, 90+% of our volume. We are still very much e-commerce first. We are starting to kind of widen the verticals and successfully trailing new products that enable customers to actually take our preferred payment methods into the stores, but that is something that we've only started 2 years ago.
How international is Klarna today? You originally started in Sweden. I think in Germany you did an acquisition with Sofortüberweisung.
Later on Bill Pay.
Years ago, yes.
So
is Germany your largest market now?
So today Germany is our largest market in terms of volume and revenue. UK and US are our fastest growing markets. We are currently active in 14 different markets, where everything is basically Europe except for the US.
Where's the market going? I think PayPal still has the highest commissions in the industry with like 2.5%. It's said that they accept every transaction on the other side, almost. How important is it to stay competitive if you think about price, if you think about conversion, coverage, and the additional services? Listening to you and having observed the market, and also yesterday I talked to the CEO of Wirecard, Mr. Braun, which was super interesting. It got very complex, right, in order to keep the customer and
It increasingly is. Like, let's face it, transactions, simply moving money from A to B, are getting commoditized rapidly. That means scale and volume does matter to kind of fight tightening margins. And the only way to really kind of keep growing the business and sustain your margins is to add new value. And we feel that we are extremely well positioned for that, as we have a relationship with both consumers and merchants, that we can really create added value. If you look at some of the new products that we are about to launch, or we recently have launched, it's all about helping merchants not only with payments, but actually helping them before payments happen, drive traffic, or after payments have happened,
really?
drive consumers back to the e-commerce store. So basically connecting the purchase cycle and get a consumer back on the merchant's website when they're actually paying their bill. So we really try to connect the entire e-commerce funnel and no longer focus only on transactions and purchases.
It's very interesting. So it reminds me of, I don't know if you know, Red Ventures from the US, who have big companies on the marketing side. So you're doing everything around the transaction. It's not just the processing.
Correct. We are more and more
the analytics after.
Correct.
How many employees does Klarna have today?
So year to date, we are slightly over 2,500 employees. The majority on the tech side, so slightly over 1,000 engineers, 150 product managers, 100 data
raised
scientists.
$775 million, apparently.
If you say so,
Yes.
I don't.
That's my cheat sheet is saying. I think Permira, and they hosted a lovely dinner last night, is one of your shareholders.
Correct.
I think your the other Swedish company, which was acquired recently by PayPal, was like a 2 billion exit or something. What are they called again? I forgot the name actually.
iZettle.
iZettle, exactly. They were competing also with SumUp, etc.
Correct.
What's the future of Klarna? I mean, you're growing bigger and bigger. Is it better to stay a private company? On the other hand, you could probably attract more talent when you're public. What's the future of Klarna? We have many investors here who are looking for big bets. Do they contact you?
We, for now, very much prefer staying private. We see that in today's world, still the benefits of being private outweigh the disadvantages.
I completely agree with you.
For now, expect us to stay private. And we have found creative solutions to kind of still attract talent while being private. So at this point in time, I don't see us going anywhere anytime soon. But of course, the market might change, circumstances might change, so it's kind of hard to give a definite answer on that. But
and you have very strong shareholders. It's Permira, and then you have...
It's Permira, Sequoia Capital, Anders Poulsen, Atomico, so there's a very wide variety of different...
So if you need capital, you will always get it.
We are very confident that if we need to raise, we can raise.
And let's talk about acquisitions, the other side of the M&A. Are you interested in continue to buy companies? And if so, because we have many companies here, I think over 2,000 companies registered, what type of companies are you looking for?
We are definitely interested in acquiring new companies. Looking back at our acquisitions, Support, BillPay and others, they have served us extremely well. And when we look at potential acquisitions, we are mainly interested in either acquisitions that give us additional talent. We've done it in the past. Acquisitions that enable us to faster scale globally, so acquisitions that enable us to open up new markets. And lastly, more talent-focused acquisitions. Acquisitions that enable new technology on our platform, new capabilities.
What do you think is AI going to do to your sector? I was expecting at this NOAH, everyone talks about AI. I think yesterday at 4 o'clock, I was like, something missing here. Nobody brought up AI yet. So it's not anymore a buzzword used many times. So there we had a bit more AI. We learned from Ping An, who's doing a lot of investments in that space. How important do you think AI is to payments? I mean, why is every website asking what credit card I want to use when, you know, I use always the same and they should actually know it somehow. Is there like some magic you can do with AI in your sector?
So I think that I'd rather talk about machine learning. I think that machine learning is already in many payments companies fairly important. Like we use this on large scale to underwrite credit, to assess fraud risk, to dynamically predict which payment method is preferred by a consumer, to choose to which consumers to market which product. So machine learning in Klarna, the smart utilization of the data that we have is very, very important. And we see that importance grow rapidly. As we have a larger data set, and as we see the value that we can create of kind of driving dynamic experiences. And if you want to truly drive a dynamic experience for a customer, machine learning and data is very, very important.
How much is mobile of your transactions today?
I think we are very much in line with industry, so expect 50+% of our transaction volume to be mobile initiated.
Fantastic. Well, I'm glad Germany worked out well for you. I love Sweden. I've done many deals there. And I'm very glad you came. Say hi to Sebastian when you get back.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate.
Have a good day.
Thank you so much.